Hi everyone, my name is Santiago Morales, and today we're gonna go over some Swift basics. This is part of the Swift coding club here at FIU. This is gonna be our second session here at Swift since we are like a new club here, and this is specifically the second session for Swift basics. We're meeting weekly Thursdays from 5 to 6 p.m. EST. And yep, if you want to check attendance, you can scan the QR code here below. And we're gonna have a link throughout the whole presentation where like you can check your attendance if you're not able to right now. I don't know. So first, I want to talk to you guys about some of the events that we have. First one we have is consensus event happening May 5th to 7th, 2026, which means you have around 2 months to research and know information about it. It's really fun. You can save 20% with the code CodeCrunch20, and the registration link for the event is codecrunch20.versal.app. We also have the Echo Party, which is one of the most important cybersecurity events here in LATAM. The event is in Miami, but it is a hacking community leading conference and meeting point in LATAM since 2001. It's gonna happen here in Miami in Lois Miami Beach Hotel. And if you are part of our community, you are able to get a 15% discount in the link here, ecoparty.org/Miami. Finally, I want to talk to you about the hackathon we have this month. It's called 305 Hackathon Edition March 2026. Some of our partners are Kasi, CodeCrunch, Raspberry Pi, Google Developer Group, MLH, Unibee, and the theme of it is gonna be capture the flag for you guys to stay updated on it. It's gonna happen March 20th, 24 March. Yep. So, yep, just keep updated with us. You can check the more information in the link for Hack University. Finally, this is the poster for this specific type of meeting, which is Swift Club, the Swift Basics. You can check more information in the QR codes. And without further ado, we can start with Unit 1, getting started with Swift. So if you guys do not know what Swift is a programming language specifically for iOS. So for any type of system that is from Apple, iPhone, Mac, Book Pro, and anything else. And basically what we will do here is that we're gonna explain to you how you can create your first app. This is for anyone really. You don't need to have any coding experience. It is preferred, but it is not necessary. We're just gonna help you get familiar with how iOS systems works, and I'm gonna go over real quick of what we'll do. We'll go over the foundations of environment setup, interface exploration of Xcode specifically. Xcode is the application that we're gonna use for this session. We're gonna go also through project synthesis, layout architecture, user interaction logic, data modeling, and asset deployment. Although these concepts themselves might sound a little bit complicated for people that haven't coded at all, they are simple if you look at them from a different perspective. And in this case, what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go together so that you feel how the program works and we can build the project together, right? So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna show you the outcome. The idea is to make there you go, replace. Here you go. So it's gonna take a while to charge, because it's compiling and analyzing all of the information. But the idea is to make a tip calculator. So I'm gonna make a quick demonstration. You're gonna be able to enter the amounts in dollars. I did it in dollars. You can make it in any currency that you have, and it's gonna output the amount of tip that you're gonna give based on the percentage of tip that you want. So let's say if you did $100 and you wanted to give a 20% tip, there you go, and you wanted to give a 20% tip, it's gonna output basically $20. There you go, it's charging right now. Meanwhile, while we're at it, I do want to recommend you guys to download Xcode if you don't have it already. While it's charging, I'm going to show you real quick where you can do that. If you go to Xcode developer.apple.com/Xcode, you're going to be able to find, there you go, yeah. You're gonna be able to download it. I would recommend you guys to download the Xcode normal. You don't need an account for that for on Apple. However, you do need a MacBook Pro, MacBook Air, whatever type of MacBook that you have, but you need a MacBook in order to be able to work with Xcode. Because Swift is, as I mentioned to you guys before, Swift is a programming language that is specific to iOS or Apple itself. I don't know why it's taking so long though. No. I guess we can start coding because that's taking too long to charge, and we'll finish the project together. Stop tasks. There you go. So as I told you guys, once you have everything downloaded from Xcode, it's gonna ask you some more information about downloading some DMS, like some extensions for you to be able to use to create your app. But now that you're in this section, you're gonna just create a new project. And what you wanna do is you're gonna make an iOS app, right? So click on iOS, click on app, and then next. This is some of the basic information needed. You don't have to understand everything. For product name, I'm gonna write tip calculator. You can write first project, whatever. Team, we're not gonna add a team member. We're just gonna work it on ourselves. Interface has to be Swift UI, team none. And for organization identifier, so organization identifier is not relevant until you actually deploy your application into the App Store, but you still need it in order to create the app, right? So how this works, it's gonna take the reverse domain name. So normally it's whatever, let's say apple.com. So it's, instead of that, you're gonna make it the other way. So it's gonna be com.apple. In this case, just write com.your name. My name is Santiago Morales, as I said, told you guys. Language Swift, testing systems none, and storage is also gonna be none because you're not gonna be using persistent storage for this app. Now that we've got the settings in order, we can create the app. You can save it wherever. I'm gonna save it in Swift Club and create the app. There you go, and it's gonna create a folder for it. Let's open it, and here we see the interface. You have all of the basic information. On the top screen, this is the top screen, you have the toolbar, and on the left and right you have different options to toggle them. The left is the navigator, and the right is the inspector in which you can inspect the files. I'm not gonna really use the inspector for this session since it's more about system information, which is not needed to create your first app. So the navigator is the left side. It's gonna show you various things. It can help you navigate your project, source control, bookmarks, searching items, or even debugging. We're gonna focus more on the project navigator, which is where all your files are gonna be. You're gonna have the tip calculator app and the content view, and this is where the content view is where most of the programming is gonna happen. This is gonna be the editor. The editor is divided into two sections: the part where the code is actually happening, and the canvas, which is where it's gonna show you a preview of how your app is will be able to look like. I do want to mention something. Before in the editor, you were actually in the inspector. Sorry, you were actually able to modify the like the contents of the application, but Xcode had an update, so you can do it anymore. So most of the coding, everything that's gonna be like affecting the app itself is gonna happen in this side, and you're gonna see it reflected on the right side, which is the canvas. So I'm gonna hide the left and right view and make it a little bit bigger so guys are able to see it properly. And I think we're ready to start. So this is the code. It includes an image first. This image pertains to this like blue world thing. That's why it's called image globe. And this second one says that it's hello world. You're able to edit it like freely. Let's say I wanted to say, hi, welcome to Swift Basics. It's gonna edit it in real time and it's gonna show it on the right side. And yeah, this basically commits it directly into the into the program and saves it. I'm gonna leave hello world. And now we can also edit the image. Since we want to make a tip calculator, we want to do a $sign, which is a circle and it's filled. There you go. And you can see that the sign of a $sign in a circle. However, like in this case, the system name, you cannot like write whatever you want. You cannot write any word that you want. There are specific like keywords that you need specific in Swift for you to generate this kind of images. If you want to know more about this information, you can like look for an application on SF symbols specifically for Swift, and you're going to be able to see all of the strings that you can use in order to find the symbol you want. You can also change the color of the symbol. You can make it black. This is going to change it to black. It's charging. There you go. You can see it's black. You can make it even red. Yeah, like most of the things here are gonna be editable. I'm gonna leave it at this tint. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's pretty much it, like on what you are gonna be able to see once you enter your first program or your first application. Now, you might see here that before the elements it says VStack. The VStack is how the elements are gonna be laid out inside of your program. There are two types of stacks. There's the VStack, which is gonna align them vertically, as you can see on the canvas, where you have first the image and then you have the text. But you can also align them horizontally with an H stack. You just have to change from the V to an H, and it's gonna align them horizontally. Just wait until it charges up. And you can see now that it's vertical with the image on the left and text on the right. It's always gonna do that, like organize the elements in the order where it finds them here in the code. And you can even do something like stacking, where you can do like an H stack inside of a V stack. And let's say I also wanted to add a text after this. Wait. Welcome. So it's gonna do this, like it's gonna take all of this information, it's gonna add it as an H stack, and then it's gonna add the welcome below, because it's inside of the V stack but not inside of the H stack. I don't know if you understand this. Like these two elements, yeah, I know you understand it. So yeah. I'm gonna start with creating the tip calculator. That's gonna be the title of our application and also the name. And the second one, we're gonna write dollar amount. This is gonna be the amount that the person is gonna want to calculate. let's change. Now I want to change the size of the image, right? Because like everything is the same size and I want the image to pop out. How you do this is you're gonna add a, sorry, you're gonna change add font title, and I'm gonna explain this like how it really works. The first thing before the parentheses is saying what you want to change, and the thing inside the parentheses is saying how you want to change it. You can see like in the image that in the canvas that the image got bigger. You might be wondering like why is it font if it's an image? It is basically because the system is saving this as a system icon, and we're going to use font to like change how big it is. A system icon, it's similar like to an at or an asterisk, so that's why we use font. And we can use pretty much the same for this one. Yeah, and we can also make it bold with, sorry. If we do font weight, bold, there you go. And it's charging. As I said you guys before, the start is gonna say specifically what you want to change inside of the of the element, and the thing inside the parentheses is how you want to change it. So now we've created the title and we've like analyzed how stacks work. Now the next thing I want to work on is making the amounts editable, so the user is actually going to be able to enter the amount they want to calculate. I do want to mention though, like when you edit something, let's say you want to change color, you want to, well, whenever you want to edit something, let's say like you want to edit something in text, it's gonna, like the program is gonna automatically indent for you, so you don't need to worry much about that. Okay, now let's make another H stack for the amounts and copy this and paste it over here. We want to leave the dollar in text, and the thing we're actually gonna edit is the amounts, right? So we're gonna make them into two separate texts. Now, for you to be able to edit the amount, you actually need a variable, right? If you don't know, guys, what a variable is an amount that can be changed at runtime. So it's like a placeholder, kind of. To create a variable in Swift, you're gonna write var first, followed by the name of the variable, which is gonna be total. And I'm gonna equal it to, let's say 100. And let's display the variable here. Oh, wait, it says something's wrong. Let's try it again. Oh, there you go. You can see, like, it's, even though you wrote text total, it's gonna output 100 because it's the value stored inside of the variable total. Well, this is not enough, right? Because we already know how variables are, but we don't know how the user is gonna input whatever like amount they want it to be. So for this, we're gonna create a text field. Text field. There you go. And we're gonna choose the one that says text field title key text. So this second one. The first thing that appears on the text field is what goes inside of the text field when there is nothing inside, like when the user hasn't typed anything. I would say you can write amount. And then here you want to add like the variable that it wants to be changed. Let's say state. No, it's total, sorry. Total. Now we can see like that there are several errors, obviously. And one of them is that it says that we cannot convert a value of type string to a binding string. For you guys that don't know what a string is basically a word, or like whatever is in quotation marks, but it's like whatever is typed out. So for this one, what we're gonna do is we're gonna write at state before the variable, so it actually becomes a binding string. There you go. And now you're just gonna apply the $sign. Wait, I forgot to add the quotation marks, my bad. Just restart it. Now it's working. Oh wait, I forgot to do this. I don't know why it takes so long to charge like the view, but there you go. So it's gonna let you type out whatever thing you want, 20, whatever, and it's also gonna show it on this side because we also have to for it to print the total variable. So let's just erase that. So it's gonna, so yeah, because it's not necessary actually. Now we already have the tip calculator and the amount. Now I'm gonna show you how to create a slider. There's gonna be another HStack, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. In this HStack, we're gonna create the slider itself, in which you're gonna be able to adjust the percentage of tip that you want to be calculated. The slider is gonna be created slider. It's like self-explanatory. And but you do have to choose one called value in step on editing change. So the third one. So a slider can have various settings for it to work, but we chose this one because this one specifically needs the value, like the information that we need. The value is gonna be the variable that we're gonna change, and this one is gonna be the range. So let's start with the first one, which is value. We're gonna create another variable. It's gonna be, it also has to be binding variable, otherwise it's not going to be able to be edited during the execution of the program or like when the application is running. This variable is going to be called tip percent. I'm also going to do the same for this one. We're also going to add tip percent in here with a $sign, so the program knows that it's going to be able to access and manipulate this variable. Now, the next thing it's asking is for the range. In Swift, to write a range is really simple. You're just going to write the first number, which is 1, 3 points, and 30. Let's say you want to do it from 1 to 20. You're going to write from 1 to 20, 1, 3 points, 20. And yeah, whatever. And it should work. Oh, yeah, there you go. we're gonna initialize 10% to 15.0, which is gonna be like the standard amount, and then the user is gonna be able to edit that. Now we're waiting for the content view to charge the slider. It wasn't charging it before because it had errors, but now that it's like error free, it should be able to show it up. Let's just wait until it charges up, and I'm gonna show you how it works. There you go. So this is the slider. It's gonna, you're gonna be able to like drag it out, and it's, you still don't know like from where to where because you don't have the text right. So that's why we're gonna show right now, which is the amount of tip that we want to calculate. We're gonna do this pretty simple. We're just gonna write tip percent, and it's gonna show it right next to the slider since it is inside of an H stack. Well, it doesn't work, right? It says no exact matches in call to initializer, and this is because 2% right now it's being shown as it is an integer, it is a number, but text can only output strings, which are the things like that are in quotation marks. So for you to change the 2% from an integer or like a number to a string, you're just gonna add quotation marks, add backslash, and you're gonna surround 2% into parentheses. Wait, there you go. Now it should be working. This is, wait, it's charging. There you go. Now you can see it starts at 15. It's gonna go all the way up to 30, and it's gonna start at 1. There you go. Yeah, you're gonna be able to, like the user or whoever is gonna be able to use this. Now this is like too much numbers right at the end. 22.35 blah 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 blah, that is too much. So we're just gonna add a comma. Wait, it's here. Yeah, step 1.0. And what this is gonna, why is it showing an error? It shouldn't be doing this. Let's try it here. Okay, basically what this is gonna do is like it's gonna change it into integers, but I don't know, like it's gonna go from 1 to 2 to 2 to 3 and so on and so forth. I don't know why it's not working though. Okay, let's just leave it as it is. We can edit that later. We're also gonna add a separate text for whoever is using it to know that it's a percentage, like it's a percent. So let's just add a separate text with the percentage value. That's pretty much it for the stack, for the slider. Now let's make the calculate the amount, right? We're gonna first change the amount, this one, to take out all of the trailing zeros. And you can do this with int. So how you're gonna do it, it's just gonna write like int 10%. And that's how you change it. So you will need to spray like the amount, you see? So it doesn't have the trailing zeros anymore. And it's just gonna show 1 all the way till 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way till 30. You can change it like 30 to, let's say, 50. Because we're feeling generous and we want to add a 50% tip. And it's gonna go all the way up to 50. Let's leave it at 30. I think it's easier this way, like for the user to adjust the percentage, right? finally, we're going to calculate the total. Calculating the total is pretty easy. We first want to make sure that whatever amount is being typed here by the user is a number, right? So we're gonna do if let total num equals global total. What this is gonna do is that it's gonna check if we are able, if it's without a capital, sorry. It's gonna check if we're able to create a constant value, which is gonna be called total num, by casting the total, which is what the user is typing here, is gonna cast it into a double. And if it is able to do that, it's gonna do whatever is next inside of these brackets. So let's say I type text. Oh, yes, text. Amount is a number. Let's wait till it updates. There you go. And I want to write 10. It's going to say amount is a number. But if I write an A, or if I say 12B, it's not going to output anything. It's just going to output amount is a number whenever we actually do have a number here. This is good because we cannot make a calculation of the tip if there's letters inside here or if it is empty. Now let's actually make the calculation, right? If we total amounts equals dollars, and the fun thing about Swift, as I think many other programming languages work this way as well, is that you're able to do calculations inside of the strings, or inside of the outputs or the elements. In this case, what we're going to do is we're going to take the total num, which is total, but in a number format, and we're going to multiply it by the tip percentage, right? Yeah. So let's say I wrote 20. It's going to calculate and it's going to output 300, because 20 times 15 is 300. Now, we should edit it, right? Because this is actually not the tip. That's not 15% of 20. We just have to divide by 100. You could also multiply by 0.01, but it's basically the same thing. And if you write 20 this time, it should output the actual value. Yeah, there you go. Total amount is $3. Now, this number is too big, right? 3.00000. It's annoying to see that amount of zeros, mostly because you're not gonna be able to pay 3.0005. So we're gonna format this last string so it just displays 2 trailing zeros. You're gonna do this with specifier. That's a colon and then you're gonna do inside of these quotation marks, you're gonna add percentage 0.2f. Wait, you should have this one. There you go. No, the specifier actually goes inside. My bad. Goes inside of the calculation. Now it should work. Yeah. So now let's try it again. We can add $20, and the total amount of tip is going to be $3, sorry. And yep, we can also do a now statement. So whenever a user, whoever's using the app, the user is whoever is using the app. I think we've got that until this point because I've been using the word user too much, but I haven't explained it yet. So the user is whoever is actually going to be manipulating this app and seeing it. So whenever the user writes a letter or anything, we want to be able to let them know that this is not the information we're asking for, right? So we're going to create an else statement saying that we actually want them to add a numeric value. That is going to show up whenever it's empty or whenever we write words. And it's just going to change whenever we actually write a numeric value, which are just numbers. And that's pretty much it. The only thing left for us is to change the icon of the app. To change the icon of the app, you're gonna open this left side, which is called the navigator, and you're gonna go to assets. In assets, click on app icon and click on this one, which is gonna be a near appearance. It's gonna show your icon no matter which appearance it has, whether dark, light, or tinted. And choose whichever file you want. I'm gonna choose the one that I already have saved. Do take into account it's asking for a 1024 by 1024 pixels. Here it says 1024 pixels, and icons need to be square and cannot contain transparency. Otherwise, the application's it's not gonna show the icon. Just save it, and you can go back to the content view. Let's wait for it to finish charging. It's taking a bit too much. But for you guys that have already finished, it should output the complete application. Let's try to run it. Maybe this time it works. Oh, there you go. Now it charged. This is basically the application, how it's gonna look like once you open it in your phone or whatever, if you decide to upload it to the App Store or use it directly on your phone. And that's pretty much it. You have just built your first app. I don't know why my computer is so slow. There you go. You have just finished your first app. So if you have any questions or would like to know more information, just let me know. And if not, thank you for being here. We're gonna have these sessions, as I said to you guys at the start, every Thursday from 5 to 6. You can check attendance finally. This is this last slide we have. So just make sure you check in for attendance. You can go to our website, swiftclub@fiu.personal.app, to help us improve our feedback and to know more information about the club. And thank you so much.